What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Nate, Hybrid Athlete Podcast, episode number 19, on a Sunday, March 17th, 2024. So we are looking at basically, for me, I'm looking at doing a half marathon next weekend, followed by another half marathon on April 15th. So I just wanted to kind of discuss some of the stuff that I'm doing as far as training, diet, routine, all that stuff, give some input into how to escalate your training and kind of do like a progressive overload in terms of volume, because the programs that I do are basically very heavy with volume in the gym, with weightlifting, running wise, even biking and swimming, even though I'm not really scheduling an Ironman this year. So I kind of want to get into that and kind of give you an update on like what I'm really noticing as a positive response to what I'm doing, how my body feels, what my weight's at, kind of a report on keto about 2.5, 3 weeks in. So all that I'm going to try to basically just cram into 10, 15 minutes of conversation. I want to make these videos kind of direct and short and just kind of get to the point, give you guys some good info, and then send you on your way. Hopefully you get some value from it. My personal feeling is that I think I've spoken about this before on several occasions, but if you're going for clout, if you're going for just kind of like, well, look at how strong that guy is, or that chick is, or, how she looks or whatever, or just kind of like getting the same kind of theme, the same type of message from more popular influencers or people online discussing fitness, you can do that. But I think the service I'm providing is very kind of, real world reflective. You're going to get a lot of good data information from me quickly. I speak from real life experience, from what I've been doing for the last, 3 or 4 years. I'm all in on this stuff. I build my work week. I build my life around fitness. I build, a lot of the work I do, studying, everything, my playlist and music is built around fitness, what I like. The decisions that I make financially are built around fitness too, saving money to pay for races, paying for, new shoes, new running shoes, exercise equipment, clothing, all that stuff. So there's going to be some other episodes this year where I really dig into kind of the financial side of, I guess, just like the lessons that I've learned from prioritizing fitness in my life, which I think are some of the most valuable. It's been spoken about plenty of times and by other people, who are professional or higher level than I am, that, you basically get mindset, mental health, everything just kind of falls into place when you get your fitness, in order. I listened to a Bradley Martin podcast with Brian Shaw, two of my favorite people in the fitness space online, and they were just kind of discussing, in detail, like basically how you can really, get your life on the right track if you just kind of, publicly share your fitness with the attitude of how much you love it. Like, you're not really expecting anything back. You basically just, fall in love with the training, which is the foundation of everything. And then, if eventually maybe I reach, several hundred people or several thousand people online, that'd be great. But I'm not doing this for that. I'm doing this because I simply self-reflect. And I share my thoughts, experiences, and share with the community how much I value and how precious my fitness and my routines are to me. That being said, let's get into kind of training and keto diet and an update from all of these perspectives. So first thing I want to mention is that my volume of running has increased. My weight is subtly going down, but I feel like the diet is really controlling that well. Training wise, we're looking at heavy days. So last week was a big week. Monday, I worked out twice, and Wednesday, I worked out twice. So as I spoke about the previous episode, basically I'm opening the week with like either back or chest. So I did that. And then in the evening, I do like a boxing session or a hit session. So this week I did 5 rounds of boxing, heavy bag, just kind of as fast as I can go, maybe alternating rounds. So those of you who are more knowledgeable in boxing, footwork is really everything. So I'm kind of working on kind of, basically like I'm sparring, or just kind of like have kind of that routine, like, okay, round 1 is a warm up with footwork and fundamentals. And then round 2 is speed, power, whatever. So I kind of alternate on those, but I get a really good workout in the evening. And then I, came into Tuesday kind of well rested, didn't work out in the morning. Tuesday evening is a heavier weight workout, light cardio. So I ran 5K, so 3.1 miles on the treadmill. And then I got a back workout in, which was basically, if we're looking at specific muscle groups during the endurance training season, we're still looking at 4 to 5 exercises, 15 to 18 sets for a single muscle group. That was back. So basically, pull-ups, barbell rows, dumbbell rows, reverse bent over flies, dumbbell flies, which is basically rear delts, which is great exercise. That's really helped me build some volume and definition in my back, which is what, when I was younger, that was definitely what I was missing. So going into Wednesday, I'd already worked out 3 times, and Wednesday was like you can call it a David Goggins type day. So I woke up at 4:45 in the morning. I went out and ran 12 miles in the morning at 5:15 a.m. Left the house, got back. Took me about an hour and a half. So not the quickest, but it was my first kind of long morning run. Sometimes it takes my body a little bit longer to wake up in the morning as I get older. So, if I would have gone in the afternoon, I suspect it would have been a slightly quicker pace. But, I'm just trying to get into the routine of earlier runs and really challenging myself and digging into kind of that morning mental focus and that mental strength that you get from working out that early. So pushed myself, and it was a good workout in the morning. The evening was basically chest, so incline chest. So basically a smaller muscle group. Chest and shoulders are kind of hybrid mixed a workout in, but still got a good workout. Weight session in the evening after running a pretty long distance in the morning. And then Thursday basically got into hamstrings and calves, so kind of like another smaller muscle group. I was pretty fatigued from Wednesday because I worked out twice, both in a pretty high intensity cardio and weightlifting. So Thursday, kind of it's the most, I can call that the easy day of the week, so to speak. It's the lowest intensity, lowest volume day because I'm following up a very heavy, volume day. And from the perspective of a bodybuilder, bodybuilders do the same thing if they're really not doing cardio like I am. So, for example, they'll set up their schedule like it's basically back, chest, legs, and arms, repeat. So it's a 4-day split. That's what Sam Sulek does. That's what a lot of other, dedicated and high-level bodybuilders do, is they basically work out each major muscle group, and then they'll mix in variations of arms on specific days. Or, if there's kind of a light day, it'd be like, calves only, or hamstrings, arms, whatever, triceps only, whatever. So I decided to do hamstrings and calves because I want to keep my legs going as I'm basically doing a lot of running. So that was my Thursday. Friday was basically another back workout, kind of a variation of what Tuesday was. But I worked out with one of my clients. So that was an evening workout, or early afternoon at around 3:30. And that was kind of another, 15 to 18 sets, good volume, but heavy weight, kind of only 2 miles, running 2 miles. So, when we look at the whole week, if we kind of go back and look at volume of running, I did run 7 miles on Monday morning. So I forgot to mention that. So that was like a 7-mile run in the morning, 45-minute run on Monday. Then Tuesday, it's just a 5K. So that's 3 miles. So we're at basically 10 miles for the week. Wednesday was a 12 miles. So that's 22 miles. Thursday is another low volume day, just 3 miles. So what's up with us at 23 miles. And then Friday is another just 2 miles. So we're at 25 miles. And then Saturday is basically another 7-mile run. So we're running 32 miles in a week right now, doing weight training 5-6 days a week as well. So the intensity is increasing, and my calorie consumption is staying the same or slightly increasing at the keto diet ratio. So I spoke about it last week. I'm basically consuming a lot more fats. My carb consumption has gone down, meaning that I'm substituting some of my carb meals where I had a banana and peanut butter, for example. That's going to become 8 ounces of 80%, 20% ground beef. So that's basically the same calorie intake, which is roughly 450, 500 calories. But the macro profile is going to change to where I'm becoming more fat adapted. And I'm really leaning into keto to where like the ratio goes from maybe up to 22% carbohydrates down to like 8 to 10% carbohydrates by changing a couple meals, and basically really getting into a full on keto for the main part of this race season, which is going to be 2.5, 3 months. So that being said, you can kind of get a good feel for what I'm doing kind of I call myself an advanced hybrid athlete. I'm not elite. There's plenty of guys that do it better than I do. But I feel like I'm getting to a pretty high level now with the way I execute, the way that I set my schedule. So I hope that gives you a good idea of what I'm doing as a guy who basically wants to run a 26-mile race in 2 months, less than 2 months now. And then also, I'm lifting relatively, significant weights. The lowest volume I do is like 6 to 8 reps. That can either be on a bench press or on a, maybe on a squat. If I go up to like, close to 3 plates or something. But that's kind of what my routine looks like. Looking at forward thinking too, like looking at how that would change, like what that specific week I shared was, that's going to change in the upward direction of running. Meaning I just ran 32 miles this week, but the following week I might run 35, 36. And once I get into like the peak training before the full marathon, I'm going to be running probably 40 to 45 miles in a week, maybe almost 50. But that's really what it takes to really like be prepared for like a long race, because you never really train at that full distance, especially for a marathon. Like my longest training run is going to be 21, 22 miles, but I allow myself to fully recover, which I never really do for that race day. So it's almost like a steroid injection for me to perform best on race day, which I discover is great for me because, most people that are like me, they're really it's a healthy addiction to being in the gym and working out. Everyone says that. And I'm no different. So, the fact that I, work out 6 days a week all through training, and then maybe on the race week, I take an extra day off the day before and then a very light day or something 2 days before, that's plays to my advantage. And training volume is associated with that. So for example, like on Wednesday, on Wednesday morning, I tried to run 12 miles and I didn't give myself any off days 2 days before. But obviously, if I run the 13-mile half marathon, I'm going to give myself a full day off the day before and really be fully recovered and kind of, geared up for that long run. So to me, it's like a mental advantage too of I'm training hard. I'm not really allowing myself to recover from the majority of my training. But again, if we're trying to be bodybuilders and maximize how we look and, kind of look the best or look the fullest, look the biggest, you don't want to train like this. But again, that's not my goal. That's not my plan. That's not how I basically work that's not how I operate in my personal fitness life. So if you're trying to do that, then I would suggest not doing what I do. But if you are trying to kind of be, good at everything, that's where this type of program falls into place. Last thing I'll mention before I jump off is I kind of just want to plug my fitness templates. I've shared them with a couple of business professionals, fitness enthusiasts who are connected to me in my life, and they all really enjoy them. A couple clients have started using them and they love them. So I'm going to try to reformat that a little bit, get it a little bit more versatile, basically based off of weight difference, genders, male and female, kind of customize them a little bit more, and share those either on my website or just through emails or through my LinkedIn page, my profile. So that's all I got for this week. Short and sweet, but basically, just giving you a good idea of what a single week looks like at this point in time. And in the following episodes, I'll be sharing kind of a race recap. My first half marathon of the year is coming up this next weekend on the 24th. So I may do episode number 20. I may do that in the afternoon after the race when I kind of, wind down. So looking forward to these upcoming half marathons, definitely. So take care, everyone. Have a good week, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.